Now, after a 2-year break, Emirates, the flag carrier of the United Arab Emirates, has made a noteworthy comeback, starting operations again in Lagos. This occurs 2 years after the airline suspended operations due to a number of problems, including unresolved embezzled airline funds. On Tuesday at 3:32 p.m., the Boeing 777-300ER flight EK783 made a landing at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, arriving at the former terminal with a number of empty seats. The Port Harcourt refinery in Rivers State is still yet to start producing fuel by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. The Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and NNPC have been unable to fulfill their commitments on the refinery. Now, Chief Financial Officer of the NNPC, Umar Ajia, had stated that the Port Harcourt refinery will start operations in September 2024 following the collapse of the early August commitment. Now, President Bola Tinubu's Independence Day speech said his administration had paid up 30 trillion naira in debt obtained from the Central Bank of Nigeria and increased Nigeria's foreign reserve from $33 billion to $37 billion. Now, he attributed this to the CBN's methodical approach in managing monetary policy, which he claimed guaranteed predictability and stability in the foreign exchange market. Notwithstanding the numerous challenges Nigeria's economy has encountered since taking office 16 months ago, according to Tinubu, the milestones were reached. Now to some corporate news. Now we have multinational Pan-African Bank UBN saying it will pay its shareholders an interim dividend of 2 naira per share for the first half of 2024. Now the bank recorded a pre-tax profit of 401.6 billion naira, a marginal 1% decline from the 403.6 billion naira posted in H1 2023. During the period under review, UBN enjoyed a bumper surge in interest income as it recorded an interest income of 1 trillion naira, which marks a whopping 134% year-on-year growth from the figure posted in 2023. Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu joins me now to discuss this further. Mr. Chika, good morning to you.
How are you?
Very, very well. Thanks. And yourself?
Yes, I'm okay.
Great. We have a bit to get through to. So, of course, let's begin with the president, of course, declaring that his government raised foreign reserves by $3 billion and cleared 30 trillion naira ways and means. What are the optics around this?
Okay, I mean, a lot of people have asked me about the claim or the statement by the, I don't want to claim, the statement by our president, are they factual, are they truthful, whatever. And I said that our president cannot lie. Politicians don't really lie. What they do is that they exaggerate, So an 18 could be 20 for a politician. A 2 billion can also be 20 billion for a politician, depending on how they want to paint the news or put it out there to the electorate. Reserves moved, of course, reserves have moved from 36 to up to $38 billion, Now, that has been expected because of a lot of things that have happened. We'll reduce fuel importation, the foreign remittances have increased because of policies by central bank. Foreign portfolio investors have also brought in a little more money. And so that has, led to the creation in the reserve. So there's no problem with that. The issue of paying off the ways and means, 30 trillion, is in the books of central bank before, it was just sticking out there as unauthorized overdraft in quotes, like for a company that borrowed. But what's happened now is that they have restructured it into a 40-year loan. So it hasn't been really been repaid, but the loan has been restructured into a 40-year loan. So it's no longer sticking out like an ISO as it was before, but it has now been structured to a proper loan, the way it's supposed to have been done ab initio. What other claim did they make there?
But before you go there, are you questioning the veracity of the statements that the president has made?
I'm not questioning. I just said that the politicians don't lie; they exaggerate.
So it's an exaggeration.
Exaggeration. You know how people do fact checks. Even the debate that happened yesterday, people are doing fact checks online, real time. So I'm just trying to look at the issues. For example, I thought about the ways and means. The way it looks now is like they paid it off. Yeah, but not that they paid it off, as in no longer they're not owing, the government's not owing. But the issue, the form, the nature and the form has been changed. From an unauthorized ways and means before, it has become a proper debt, structured into a 40-year loan. That's what it is.
So what are the wider implications of just this little movement?
It's because it's sunk money. The money actually in the system. If you listened to the last Monetary Policy Committee meeting by the Central Bank Governor, he thought about it, that the inflationary environment we had was, ballooned, was made worse by the issues of the ways and means. So it was already in the system. So the issue was to just make it, restructure it the way it's supposed to be restructured and properly. So that has been done. So I thought about the reserve. The reserves had increased. And someone said, okay, thought about investment, 30 billion in new investment, dollars in new investment. Again, there's a lot of exaggeration in that one. If you add up the report from Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, and all the foreign portfolio investors, foreign direct investment, on other investments, I don't think they add up to $30 billion. We may have commitments from sundry places, especially from Ministry of Investment, but those are investment, but those are not coming there. So don't have the really 30 billion inflows into the economy from investments.
Well, I mean, surely exaggerations are not very healthy. For us, it'll be great to get some actual figures, but of course, we'll keep an eye on that. Let's move on to United Bank for Africa stunning the stock market with the announcement of a record-breaking 2 naira per share. I mean, good times for UBA shareholders, isn't it?
Shareholders. I mean, I'm going to, check the next sheet or next something to buy.
I'm following suit. I'm going with you.
To buy, 2 naira per share. Interestingly, that if they have not paid this amount of dividend before, and that makes it more salutary, more newsworthy. The fact that they have not paid full year, but this is half year, I guess for several reasons. You know that all of the banks are recapitalizing, and what they're recapitalizing is going back to the shareholders to say, come and invest more in us. I guess with this 2 naira dividend, they have paid out half year to investors. It's also like saying that when we come to the market to ask for new investments from a new commitment from either rights issue or new shares, so please come, because you see, look at how we're remunerating shareholders who pay 2 naira. That I guess that's part of the play there. But I mean, especially if the result this half year was a little less than the one of last year. Yeah. See, they were very generous enough to push at that. I guess it's to incentivize their shareholders that when they come to the market, just like some other banks have come to ask from shareholders for new additional money, either through rights issue or new public offer, let the shareholders be, encouraged to say, they have paid this, they will pay more.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly very attractive for the bank, right? I mean, as you rightfully mentioned, it's the highest interim dividend payout amongst Nigerian banks in the first half of 2024. Yeah. So, and of course, we see the stock also climb 9.9%.
We'll let us respond to that.
Very good times. Well done to you on that one.
It's time to be calling your broker. So,
absolutely, absolutely. You couldn't be more right on that. Well, let's move on to Emirates, the flagship carrier of the United Arab Emirates, after 2 years.
Dubai used to be the visas were easier to get. So those who couldn't go to the Western world, but they needed to get out of Nigeria, decent place, Dubai used to be the place to go. And so the exit of Emirates hurt the whole vacation and tourism system, even business. So a lot of people have to go through so many places, circuitous routes to be able to get to Dubai. So we're happy with the Minister of Aviation, with the things that he has done to get these people encouraged back into the system. But remember, they left initially because I think they had $85 million of unremitted ticket sales, which Central Bank again, cleared. That's another thing that the president mentioned, that they cleared the backlog of FX. That actually was very, very commendable because it's a major stumbling block to even new funds coming to our system. So Emirates will celebrate the initial fight, not especially not full load, because a lot of people are still trying to make sure that it's going to work. But the other thing also, the minus there is that you're going to buy the tickets in dollars. I guess because of the fact that he had issues before remitting their tickets, they sold in naira. But I cannot say now how that plays with the loss of our country, because now you have naira, you're going to go to the black market somewhere and buy dollars, go and put it in the account, go and buy tickets. It's a bit messy. So we encourage Emirates again to go back to selling tickets in naira the way it's expected, like with other airlines. And the other big issue here is the reciprocity to make sure that Nigerian airlines are also allowed to go to Dubai. The minister has said that was also negotiated and agreed. Do you recall that PAPs was doing that before this happened, and that should provide an alternative to Nigerians.
Those are very, cogent considerations, and I was going to ask you. It's a good thing you also mentioned that, because do we have our house in order now? Looking retrospectively as to what led us here in the first place, so that will also be another key consideration. But let's move on to oil and gas. Port Harcourt Refinery has missed for the sixth time actually. This will be the seventh time now. As of August 2024, we're already seen about 6 postponements. What's happening here?
I think by the time I finished this morning, the Corporate Affairs Department of NMPC and NE, the whole manager, should come and pay me some money. Because... Depending
on what you're about to say.
Yeah, because they have handled this issue differently. They have handled it differently. And Port Harcourt Refinery, for the benefit of our viewers, has been run down for a long time. And they were trying to do a whole turnaround maintenance of it. Now, at this time, one much younger time, that I sent a car for an engine overhaul, and they made the commitment to me that the car is going to be ready in 2 weeks. It's an old car. But by the time they were doing the engine overhaul, they found out the gearbox was bad too. So the 2 weeks they couldn't meet. But then they fixed a new gearbox. They required, so each time you find something, you need to go to the Dangote refinery to understand the complexity of a refinery. The refinery, Port Harcourt refinery is not a greenfield. It's an old refinery they were trying to restructure or renew. And I thought that they should have sat down with the contractors and then looked at everything and then said, this is real, the reality we felt on the ground. Instead of what these promises they make every month. Luckily, I think today is second. The Fame Falana Chambers, using the Freedom of Information request, asked for the contractors to let us know the progress of the Port Harcourt refinery, and they promised that on or before October 2nd, they're going to give a report of the true state of the refinery. That's what I expected to have been happen all this while. To say this is the issue. If you are rebuilding an old house, usually it's a little difficult. You cannot think this wall can carry a load. And that's on that basis, you say the house will be completed in 2 weeks or 1 month. As you knock on the wall, you find that it's just blocks and it breaks. And then you have to start doing the building again from something. You see the roof you thought it was strong will be leaking. So that's basically the thing with Port Harcourt Refinery. I think they should have articulated it better. Right. Come on with the contractor and say, this is how bad things are. But this is a project schedule, and this one we think can complete it, plus or minus. So you're acknowledging the intricacies of a project of this nature and giving it its reasons for its lapses. But before you go, very briefly, are you hopeful? Are we going to get it right the 8th time? I do not want them to make any promise until this report. I hope that today is second, that report comes out from the contractors, telling us the state, progress of the work, and what are the limiting factors or the critical success factors to enable us to complete the project. So that we can manage our expectations as well. That's what they require. Nobody is going to kill anybody. Just come and tell us that this is how bad things are, these are the issues, and these are the, and then we accept it. My people say that the hunger that you know when it's going to end is easier to bear. Absolutely. Information and transparency is all we need in this case. Rise business analyst Chika Mbonu, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll see you again tomorrow.